Here's what most people get wrong when they compare renting versus buying. They compare the monthly rent to the monthly mortgage payment. Well, rent is $3,000, mortgage is $4,000, so buying costs only $1,000 more. Wrong. That's not the right comparison at all. And here's what you should be asking. If I have $222,000 to invest today, should I put it into a property or should I rent and invest the same amount of money in the stock market? This is what we call an equal cash investment analysis. Both scenarios start with the same amount of money. And the question here is, which one builds more wealth? For this analysis, I look at a real property in Mountain View, California. 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, penthouse condo listed for just under $1 million. 1,200 square feet, built in 1977. You know, the average cost of a lot of the condos over here. HOA fees of $600. Great schools and very nice amenities. Now, a comparable 2-bedroom condo in this particular area would rent for roughly $4,000 a month. So let me show you what happens in both scenarios. If you buy this condo, here's what you're going to be paying every single month. Mortgage payments, $4,744. Property taxes, $989. HOA, $605. Insurance, $65. And maintenance, $412. For a total of $6,800 per month. If you rent is $4,000 a month, and the rental insurance, $25. And a total of $4,025 per month. There's a difference of $2,790 every single month. And here's the key. As a renter, you take that monthly difference, that $2,790, and you invest it in a diversified portfolio, like an ETF fund, earning a really conservative market average of 9.5% per year. I know that's a very conservative number because when you look at the past couple of years, even an ETF like VOO went up roughly 16.5% annualized over the last 5 years. But wait, doesn't the buy build equity? Yes, but remember, they had to put a massive amount of cash into the property upfront, roughly $222,000. Now, here's one thing most people miss. What if the renter takes the same amount of money, $222,000, and invests it in the stock market? Plus, remember, they're investing an additional $2,790 every single month. Both scenarios start with the same amount of cash investment. So, who comes out ahead after 5 years? Let me show you the data. But first, we need to talk about what actually happened to property values in Mountain View over the past 5 years. Everyone assumes Silicon Valley's real estate only goes up, right? Wrong. Here's the reality. The average price of townhouses in Mountain View in 2020 was $924,000. And in 2025, it's $840,000. It went down. That's a negative 1.88% annual return over 5 years. Interest rate hikes, tech layoffs, remote workers reducing the premium for living near campus. The market didn't go up. It went down. Now, watch what happens when we track both scenarios year by year. Year 0, they both start with $222,000 invested. Year 1, the buyer net worth is roughly around $148,000, and the renter's portfolio actually went up to $278,000. The renter is already $100,000 ahead. And by year 5, the buyer's net worth is $125,000. The renter's portfolio, $538,000. After 5 years, the buyer has less money than they started with. Meanwhile, the renter has built a massive wealth. And here's the final score. After 5 years, if you bought, your net worth is worth $125,000. If you rented and invested, your portfolio is worth $538,000. The renter ends up with $413,000 more than the buyer. Oh wait, you're saying, what about taxes? Homeowners get deductions. Buyer tax savings over the 5 years is roughly between $50,000 to $75,000. The renter capital gains tax also, you probably have to pay roughly about $22,000 to $30,000 in taxes. And even after accounting for all the tax benefits of buying and all the taxes on investment gains, the after-tax difference is still $363,000. the renter still ends up over $360,000 more. And here's why. The buyer's money went to interest payments to the bank, property taxes, HOA fees, maintenance, and a declining property value that lost $72,000. The renter's money, it went into a portfolio that compounded 9.5% annually over 60 straight months. Now look, I'm a realtor and I'm not saying you never buy. Here's what I found. Even if a property went up by, let's just say, a very generous 5% a year, way above recent trends, renting still wins by nearly $170,000. The property would need to appreciate roughly 7 to 8% annually just to break even with renting. So when does it make sense to buy? When you're staying in the home for more than 10 years. Interest rates are low, like 2 to 3%. You highly value stability and customization. You're building a family and want school continuity. You believe the market will recover strongly. You have high income and can maximize tax benefits. If those apply to you, buying might be the right choice, even if it's not the most optimal financial choice. Because homeownership provides intangible benefits: stability, customization, pride of ownership, forced savings. This analysis gives you the financial answer, but you're a human being, not a spreadsheet. Here's my recommendation for most people in this situation. Rent for 2 to 3 years, invest aggressively, build that portfolio to roughly around $400,000 or more, watch the market, and then buy when conditions improve with a massive down payment, better negotiating position, and clearer market direction. Look into buying possibly a single-family residence, because single-family residence is a whole different beast altogether. And if you want the full analysis, all the spreadsheets, all the charts, any assumptions I've used, I've linked everything in the description below. Run your own numbers, test your own assumptions, and make that decision that's right for your own life. Because the most expensive mistake is the one you don't see coming. I'm Charlie Giang from Bricks and Bytes. I'll see you in the next one.